Hello guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm just going to tell you guys some stories that you need to learn from. But before that, please remember to subscribe to my channel, like, share and comment. We'll be right back. So the first story is about this family that I know. They are six in number, 4 girls and 2 boys. And as at the time this thing was happening, they were all married. So they were living with their families. So, but we noticed that at some point, the ladies started coming back one after the other, as in the girls. They started coming back one after the other with their children. And once they come back, they don't go back anymore. So, people started asking questions that what is happening? So it was then that we now got to know that each time they have issues with their husband and their mom gets to know about it, she'll just call them. What are you still doing in that house? Pack your things and come back with your children. I still have enough space for you people. And she did that with the fourth daughter, the second daughter, the third daughter. And three of them came back to their father's house. And when this thing was happening, their father was already late. So it was just their mother there. So three of them came back with their children just because of what their mother told them. So it was just remaining only one girl that was still living with her husband. Even when that one also had issue with her husband and she got to know about it, that is the mother. She got to know about it. She also called her that she should pack her things and come back to the house. She has enough space for her and her children. That particular one said she wasn't leaving her marriage, that she would stay back. And luckily for her, she was able to resolve the issue between her and her husband. Until today, she's still the one living with her husband while her sisters are still in their father's house with their children. So why I brought this up is this, that most times some parents don't really give their children the right advice. Yes, they don't give their children the right advice. This woman will always tell her children to leave their husband's house and come back, but she was living with her husband until the man died. Or is she not trying to tell me that she never had issue with her husband? They had issues, definitely, but they were able to resolve it. So why would she always tell her children to leave their husband's house and come back home because they had issues with their husband? No, the right thing she would have done is for her to try to look for a way to resolve the issue between them and their husband instead of telling them to come back. So he found out that this woman actually ruined her children's or her daughter's marriages because of the kind of advice she gave them. She didn't do the right thing by telling them to come back. After all, no marriage is a bed of rosy. Yeah, no marriage is a bed of rosy. There's bound to be disagreements and misunderstandings in every marriage, yes. So, but we should be able to find a way to resolve it, resolve the conflict. Leaving the marriage is not the best, except there is more to it, or a woman's life is at stake and all. And then she can consider. But if that is not the case, if it is a normal misunderstanding that husband and wife normally have, then it's something they can easily resolve, and not for them to leave their husband's house according to the advice their mother gave them. So up to today, they are still living with their mother. You accept that particular one that refused to listen to the mom. I know that the funny aspect of it is that this woman, will I say that she disowned that particular daughter because she refused to listen to her. So she felt that the daughter disrespected her. So she stopped calling her. She didn't want to have anything to do with her because of what? Because she did not listen to her. But thank God for her. And that is why till today, she's still the one living with her husband. But those other three listening to their mom. And today, I'm 100% sure that they are regretting the action they took by leaving their marriage just because of a mere misunderstanding that they can easily resolve. So we need to be very careful. Be you a parent, be you a daughter or a son, please know the kind of advice you give as a parent. Don't use your hand and ruin your children's marriage. And you as a son or as a daughter, know the kind of advices you listen to. Know the kind of things you hear. weigh the things you hear to know whether they are the right thing to do or the wrong thing to do, so that you not take an action that you regret for the rest of your life. That is by the way. Then the second story is about this particular woman. As at the time she was telling this story, she was about 95 years old. Yeah. Very beautiful woman, even though she was old. So she was like telling this story in order to advise people out there not to make the same mistake that she made. And her mistake was that she said that while she was growing up, she was still younger, that she had a lot of suitors that were coming for her. But the father refused her from getting married to any of them. Reason, because she's from a Catholic home. The father is a core Catholic. So he doesn't want the daughter to marry anybody outside Catholic. She wanted her to marry a Catholic. So that's where the problem came from. She listened to the dad and said, okay, let her still wait and see whether she will have more suitors. And that was where her problem started. You know, most parents do this a lot. Some of them even go to the extent of telling their children, you will not marry from this particular tribe, you will not marry from this other particular tribe, maybe because of their experience from someone in that particular tribe. So he just like having experience from a particular person from a tribe, and you now generalize it that that is how the whole tribe is. No, things are not done that way. If you have a negative experience with a particular person from a particular tribe, that does not mean that that is how the whole of the people from that tribe behaves. No, you don't generalize things because of one person. It is the similar thing the father did. There's possibility that he must have had experience from someone from another church. He thought that he's only a Catholic man that will make a good marriage. I don't know whether it was because of the experience he had in the past or I can't tell. So this is what the father did. She now rejected the suitors. She didn't accept any of them. So she was waiting that definitely a Catholic man will come. But before she could realize it, she was already 40. And it was as if that all the suitors stopped coming. She wasn't seeing them again. It was getting late already, and she still continued waiting. And that is how she waited until this 95 years, without a husband, without a child. She's just lonely. I think she said she has two younger brothers or something like that, yes, who are still with their families. So she's the only one in her father's house, alone. And the father who told her not to marry a non-Catholic had died a very long time ago. She's the one alone now. The father is not there with her. I'm not saying we should disobey our parents, but you should be able to know whether what they are telling you is the right thing to do or the wrong thing to do. If your parents tells you to put your finger on a fire, you're not going to do that. If your parent tells you to kill somebody, are you going to kill because he's your father or he's your mother? They're not going to do that. So if you cannot do all these things when they tell you to, why will you do anything that they tell you without weighing whether that thing is the right thing to do or the wrong thing to do? Every decision we take in life will either make us or mar us. Every decision we take in life will either put you on the right track or on the wrong track. Whoever that gives you that advice might not be there with you to face the consequences of those actions you have taken. So that is why you need to be very careful, because any decision you take, you'll be the one to suffer it or to enjoy it. So the woman was like, if she had known that this is what will happen to her, she would have looked for a way to convince the father. Even if it would mean her going to her uncles to go and talk to the father, that she would have done so. But she didn't know that it would get to this point without her getting married, because she listened to the father. And today she's regretting it, but there's nothing she could do. So we need to be very, very careful. Know the people you listen to. Whether your father, your mother, your relative, your friends, please know people you listen to. And always weigh things before you take action. Thank you very much for watching. And please remember to subscribe to my channel, like, share, and comment. See you soon. Bye.